Hi, Mr. Bablitas. Here's your 6105. Lume is a little discolored down. I should be able to clean the overall tone up, get it closer to white. You're still gonna see a little bit of blackness around the inside edges, but it definitely will look much better. The hand metal looks good. That should clean up okay. Your sweep hand at the tip of the sweep there, that's, we might see a little plating loss there. I'm not sure. Believe me, I'll do my absolute best. What's that all about? Okay. I just heard something go click. Because your click ball is missing. I can replace those. I have them. Get that out of there. Yeah, it's definitely gone. The crimps, these get crimped around here, and sometimes they just wear out. I don't have the ability to re-crimp that. I'm sorry to say, it's just nothing I've ever been able to do, in part because I've got to get right up close here. I've never been able to make it happen without doing, extra things that I don't want done. But we'll get a good spring in there for you and a new clicker, and that'll be great. There's your rotating ring gasket. Okay. Rotating ring I'm going to clean up, and I'll lume this one to match that dial there. Your lower mainspring arbor port is definitely worn. Like whoa. your cannon pinion's loose. You'll probably need to do a repair there. Pretty worn, I can feel it. Come on. Got me a twofer. Okay, so now it's time to see what dial date we've got. The dial is, the case back is dated April 71. And the dial is dated April of 1971, 1-4. Good. Your dial ring is in good condition. Excellent. Wow. Why is the mainspring barrel so high up? Look, it was grinding against the underside of the train bridge. That's wild. I wonder if the barrel opened. Come on, out we get. Come on, come on. Look at that big old gash in here. What's that about? Yep, the barrel did in fact open. It pushed itself open. Wow. So, okay. I thought that looked funky. Yep, barrel opened. So I'm going to have to look at replacing this cap at a minimum, because we don't want that to happen again. Of course, I could just roll the edges, but it always makes me nervous. There's your mainspring. I'll need to tune that, and it's a little bent out of position, so I'm gonna have to work on it. I'll have to hand clean those things. Wow. And it looks like, yeah, a little bit of corrosion in there. Okay, I've got to prep for doing the lower mainspring arbor port because yours is very worn. So I'm going to do that, and then I will come back. Okay. So I've got the front end of this needs to come apart. One casualty of some of the moisture that got in was the printing on your day wheel. It was still, the way this is, these are clear coated and the numbers are printed on the top. So if the clear coat, it's like a plastic layer. If it gets steamed out and moisture gets under there, it separates from the dial, and then the whole number thing flakes off. It's not a big deal because I have genuine 6105 replacements, and I will replace that, and that is what happened there. Boy, these are all loose. Loose, loose, loose. Loose. So I will replace that day wheel. Absolutely no worries whatsoever. Clean that up. You'll get this day wheel back. You can play with that. Okay, these keyless works, I want to get right on top of, because it's got a couple little springs in there, and I want to be able to get in there and take care of that. Got that going kapoop. So I'm gonna do that. Just in 1 second, I just wanted to check something. Okay. So I'm going to start ripping everything apart. I have your, I have the bushing. Oh, I meant to show you this. There is your upper mainspring arbor jewel. There's the lower mainspring arbor jewel right there. Okay. I'm going to hand clean all this stuff, and I got to hand clean the mainspring in the barrel, and I have to find a new cap for the barrel and get this stuff rolling. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be doing next. I will most likely come back when the watch is in pieces, when the watch is back together. Oh, and I have to rip apart your crown too. Okay. Okay, I've dropped your balance. Means I put your balance on the movement, and we're running. Let's see what kind of numbers we get. Whoops. Well, that's pretty outstanding. And that's with the new oh, I didn't tell you. Your barrel, you remember your barrel came apart. Your barrel and your mainspring was tweaked. I replaced the entire thing. Barrel, arbor, mainspring, everything. It's all replaced. And that is why we do things like that. Because your old barrel had certainly come apart and it wasn't going to stay together. And the mainspring was all tweaked. Okay, I just moved a ton too much. Okay, come on. Way too much. You know, maybe it would help if I did this. Up a hair. Typically what happens with these when you service them is you're going to get the amplitude is going to, it's going to rise and it'll drop a bit, and then it'll rise even more, and then it'll drop a bit, then it'll rise more and drop a bit. So it sort of takes a second for all the lubrication to sort of move around and get where it's supposed to be. Cool. So we're seeing more or less very similar results, dial up and dial down. It needs to run in more. Oh, we're getting steady amplitude. Okay, here are your dial and hands. You can't really see these. Try to come in from this direction. How about if I did this? Oop, there's one. Oop, there's two. Okay. So your hand loom and your dial have cleaned up very nicely. They're still a little patinaed. You've got some plating loss in the hour hand there, which you can see, but that's the original loom. Hand loom cleaned up nicely. It's got a little bit of plating loss too on that, but not bad. Your dial, the loom cleaned up nicely. The water that got in and moisture that steamed everything off, like this, like your day wheel, it also did the same thing to the matte clear coat on the top of your markers. Most of it just went away. It just wasn't even attached to the top of the markers. It just flaked off. So this is redone. I redid the frosted surface on all these hands. The only reason you would know that is because I'm telling you, because it looks exactly the same as the originals did. Your dial surface cleaned up nicely. You didn't have any text loss. I was able to get a little more brightness out of your applied Seiko. This is your original sweep hand. The metal on the tip actually cleaned up pretty well. However, the loom here is completely blackened and weak, and it just came out during the cleaning process. So that is something you'll notice, but there's loom in there. What that is I went into my stash of special stuff. That is original Seiko loom. Original period Seiko loom. So it glows the exact same way, same amount. And the tip of the hand actually came out nicely. The metal came out better than I was hoping. So I'm gonna keep pushing. Okay, I am closing in. I managed to get, there is your new click ball, and it is inset into the case. It is not popping out. So that's a massive, major triumph. Dial and hands are ticking along. Doing stuff. And there we are. So the hand loom is definitely improved. The metal in the sweep hand, I'm amazed that came out as clean as it did. And again, that's original, genuine Seiko loom. And I picked that because I had some and it was the same shade as this, and so that's what I used. Ditto for that, your pip there, which was missing most but not all of its lume. That's also genuine lume. You have a nice clicky, smooth turning. Watch hacks as it should. Crown locks correctly. There it is in all of its glory and beauty, ready to be worn. Here are your spare parts. So you got there's your barrel, there's your date wheel, your old gaskets, there's the other part of your barrel, there's your crown gasket. Here is your mainspring. I have your strap, it's over there. I had to do a few funky things. Your hand tube here had loosened up, so it was sitting too far down on the pinion, and the underside of the second hand, sweep seconds hand, was touching the top of the minute hand, and it kept stopping. So I had to tighten that hand tube up so it would give me enough clearance. What else did I do? Well, of course, I had to redo the frosted surface on top of the markers, because that was damaged by all the moisture that came in. But I think the lume came out really well. You also had some of that moisture steaming damage on this chapter ring. You'll see some sections of it are bright. That's this top coat that came through, and it's just the way that it is. Now, one thing I didn't do is you'll notice that your insert is not dead on where it is supposed to be. I could, in theory, pop this insert out and correct that. I don't like to do it. I can do it, though. It's just I don't do it without asking the owner if they want me to do it. I could also try to flatten out that dent a little bit, and if you wanted me to, I could fill that with a black enamel, and it would look better. Or we can leave it just as it is. It's a nice watch. It's a nice watch. It's all cleaned and sealed up, and new day wheel and original polish. Good daily driver. Ready to go. Okay, thank you so much, and I look forward to getting your watch and all of this stuff back with it. Okay, bye-bye.